Title: The Haunting of Willow Creek. In the sleepy town of Willow Creek, there stood an old, dilapidated house at the edge of the woods. The townsfolk spoke of it only in whispers, for it was said to be cursed. The house had been abandoned for decades, but strange things would happen when the moon was full. One Halloween night, a group of adventurous kids, Jake, Lily, and Max, decided they were brave enough to uncover the truth. Armed with flashlights and a bag of candy, they ventured toward the eerie house. As they entered, the door creaked loudly behind them. Inside, dust and cobwebs filled the air, but the floorboards seemed to whisper beneath their feet. The house was oddly cold for such a warm night. The trio tried to shake off the sense of dread creeping up their spines and continued deeper into the house. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed from upstairs, sending them jumping in fright. "Did you hear that?" whispered Lily, clutching Max's arm. Jake, the bravest of the bunch, led the way to the stairs. The moment they stepped onto the creaky stairs, the air grew colder. They made their way up and entered a room with an old rocking chair that creaked by itself, moving in a slow, rhythmic motion. As they approached, a soft voice whispered, "Leave or stay forever." Lily screamed, dropping her flashlight, which rolled across the floor. In the light, a shadowy figure appeared in the corner, its eyes glowing red. It was a ghostly figure, with a hollow face and long, twisted fingers that beckoned them closer. "Run!" Jake shouted. The trio dashed toward the stairs, but the house seemed to shift around them. Doors slammed shut, trapping them inside. As they ran down the hall, the walls seemed to close in, and the whispers grew louder. The rocking chair began to rock faster, and the ghostly figure followed them, its footsteps echoing behind them. In a desperate attempt to escape, Max grabbed a rusty old key from the wall and tried to unlock the front door. But before he could, the door swung open by itself. Outside, the moonlight revealed a figure standing in the yard, a tall, ghostly woman dressed in old-fashioned clothing. Her face was pale, her hair wild and untamed, and her eyes stared into theirs with an unblinking gaze. "You're too late," she whispered, her voice like the wind rustling through dry leaves. The kids ran, not stopping until they reached the safety of their own homes. As the sun began to rise, they swore they'd never speak of what happened again. But from that day on, Willow Creek was never quite the same. The house still stood, but no one dared approach it. And sometimes, when the moon was full, you could hear the creak of a rocking chair from deep within the woods. It was said the ghost of Willow Creek was still waiting for anyone foolish enough to enter again.